Okay, it's match day -1 for India's big semi-final versus England to be played at the Adelaide Oval. What you're seeing behind me is the Indian team's practice session. The men in blue are out in full force ahead of that T20 World Cup semi-final. In this video, what I'm going to tell you is all things that happened with the Indian team ahead of that game. So, firstly, Rohit Sharma came, met with the press, and a few questions that were asked to him. I think one of them was that, listen, India have beaten England in that home series that India travelled to England. They beat them, so do you think this will have any bearing? To which Rohit Sharma said no, and I think he made a valid point where he said that, listen, few things. One, that series happened in different conditions a few months ago, and a lot of players that were playing that series, they are not part of this current T20 squad from both India and England, both sides. So completely different teams, so shouldn't have any bearings. The other thing he said is that, remember, India have played a game here at the Adelaide Oval in this tournament. They played against Bangladesh, whereas England haven't had an opportunity to play a game here. And he said that there are a few things that they learned from that Adelaide game against Bangladesh, and they'll try and implement those things that they picked up there in the game versus England. He was also asked about semi-finals and India not really doing well in ICC tournaments. He said yes, they are mindful of that and they'd like to change that. And the record of certain players, the big players, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, sometimes their record is spoken about a lot in knockout games. He said, listen, I mean, yes, people will talk about it, and fair enough, they will. But we just look at it like any other game. But the pressure of a knockout game is also there. Few things that he spoke about. But I think the funniest thing that came out of that press conference was when asked that what is the secret of Surya Kumar Yadav being fearless. An English journalist asked him, and he said, the secret is that he doesn't carry any baggage. Then he went on to say, by baggage I don't mean suitcases. And then the entire room, the press conference room, burst out laughing, where he talks about, he said, because baggage, not suitcases, because that Surya Kumar Yadav loves. He carries a lot of suitcases because he loves shopping. But when I say baggage, that means he doesn't carry that extra pressure with him. By nature, he's like that. He's a very relaxed sort of a guy who doesn't take a lot of pressure, and that actually shows in the way he plays the game. So that's the secret to why Surya Kumar Yadav can start attacking from the word go. He spoke about. Then he said that, people talk a lot about templates, approach, how you take the game. And he said that, see, conditions here have been different. And that's why if you take a look at any team, no team has gone all out attacking in the power play. Every team has been a bit conservative. And that's why Indian team has also been a bit conservative, because the conditions, the ground and all of that dictate how the team approaches. The other important bit he spoke about was, see, that's the Adelaide Oval. The other important bit he spoke about was between Pant and Dinesh Karthik, who's going to play? That was a question that was asked. And to which he said, let me also show you some fans that have turned up here. You could see behind me there, can you see the Indian tricolour? Fans have also turned up to watch their favourite players bat. Right now, what you see in that batting session are Deepak Hooda, KL Rahul batting. And there's also UZJL batting. Rishabh Pant was also batting short while ago. I'll update you about what they did in the practice session. Right now, you see the fans. Fans can only reach till there. They cannot come close like us from the media. So we had a closer look at what the team did. Yeah, in terms of Dinesh Karthik and Pant, who's going to play, Rohit Sharma did not rule out anybody. He said that, see, they got Pant in that game versus Zimbabwe because he was the only guy who hadn't played any game, batsman who had got any game time in this tournament. He only played in the Perth practice games. So he said they needed to give him some playing time. That's why they brought him against Zimbabwe. And the other reason they got Pant in that Zimbabwe game is because they knew they might be playing England in the semi-final. And the England spinners do very well, especially Adil Rashid. They needed a left-hander to attack them in those middle overs, which is why the idea of Pant was brought in. So if that was the thought process, even though he didn't say who between DK and Pant will play, but if that was the thought process, it's fair to assume that I think Pant is only going to play. Also, Pant spent a lot of time practicing in the training session today. Dinesh Karthik, on the other hand, did not bat. So he was doing a few drills here and there, but did not bat in the net session. So whether that is an indication, I know 100% that's not an indicator who's going to play or not. For example, Suryakumar Yadav was here at practice, but he did not do any net session. But that's a trend we've seen with Sky. Throughout this tournament, ahead of a big game, he doesn't do any net practice. Very rarely, once or twice, we've seen him do it. But if it's working for him, then why change something that's really working for you? Why fix something that is not broken? So, in that sense, I think if you ask me, looking at the signs and what the team has said, Pant seems to be the starter who goes ahead and plays the game. Whether Yuzi Chahal will come in, that is still debatable. He did bowl a lot here. So was Deepak Hooda bowling a lot of his off spin, but so was Ashwin. So very tough to say. And so was Akshar Patel. All of the spinners were bowling. Very tough to predict who plays. But if you ask me, that one bowler who looked the most menacing in the practice session was Harshal Patel. He was bowling genuinely quick deliveries. He seemed very quick while bowling, because Bhuvneshwar also bowling, Siraj was also bowling, but he looked like the quickest bowler bowling. And apart from Harshal Patel, he even put someone like a Virat Kohli under pressure. So even Virat Kohli, in fact, there was one ball of Harshal that hit Virat Kohli. He fell down on his haunches and then came up and then batted again. So nothing to worry in terms of injury for Virat. No injury, but Harshal looked a lot menacing. Whether he plays or not, I don't know, but just reporting what we saw in the nets. The one batsman who was really timing the ball well, no surprises there, Virat Kohli. He had an extended batting session against throwdown experts, against fast bowlers, against spinners. He did all the different drills in different nets. Looked outstanding. Spent a lot of time practicing. Rohit Sharma on the other end did not bat. He came here, addressed the press, but did not bat. But then Rohit was one of the few players, Rohit and Hardik, one of the few players who came yesterday and did some batting session. Today Hardik hasn't come and Rohit Sharma did not do any sort of batting. So that's the update from the India training session, what their likely playing 11 is going to be like, what they're going to be doing. Just to let you know about the weather, it is expected to rain this evening. Right now there was very slight drizzle while I was doing this particular video, you must have noticed. But by and large it's been dry. Whatever rain is expected, that's also a very less % chance, is tonight or maybe tomorrow early morning, but game time, later in the day, evening time when the game is here, weather is expected to be completely clear. You can see the sun is now out. So weather is expected to be completely clear. You're going to get a full quota of 40 overs between India and England. So big semi-final coming up. Don't forget to subscribe, to tune in to Sports Today for all the latest updates. For the moment, Nikhil Naz signing off from the Adelaide Oval.